This thing is about to leave me hanging. And I'm so mad. All right. So yeah, I'm having a hard time here, and I'm not sure what's going on. I'm kind of mad about it. Hopefully this will work out though. What's up, folks? It's been a hot minute since I've been on YouTube. Bear with me as I try and figure this out. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So I have the new MacBook. I have the 14-inch M1 Max. Got it right here, hanging out, chilling. You see it plugged in HDMI. And I have it going into an Elgato, the HD60S. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't want to show up inside of OBS, and I don't know why. I picked my video input, I picked the HD60S, and it's just like, great, whatever. Can't sell my MacBook Pro 16 2019 Intel version. Yeah, these come out and they're like, they're so much better than everything. Yeah, selling that is actually gonna probably be pretty hard. Also, I'm gonna have the BRB at some point because I have a technician coming to fix my dryer that happened to break. Is the MacBook Pro recognizing? Yeah, the MacBook Pro is fine. The MacBook Pro is fine. It's OBS is not seeing the HD60. It's not bringing in that. I mean, the only other option, I guess, is I might be able to just window capture. Hold on. I could always just do this. I mean, it's better than nothing. So this is the there's gonna be so much delay though, since it's not coming directly from the HD60, but that's fine. Oh yeah, y'all can't see it. So if I do it like this, basically, you're looking at like the little program that shows. Yeah, I mean, this might have to be it, y'all. This might have to be it. Oh yeah. I gotta plug in my external hard drive. I'm just like all over the place today. I ain't got nothing working. I ain't got my chat on. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still using my 2013 MacBook Pro. I'll be upgrading as soon as the base. I need to find. What do I need to find? Yeah, I need to find a USB-C. I have a little thing somewhere. The question is, where did I put it? Where did I put it? I like just had it. Don't you hate that when you like have something and you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I don't need it, whatever, so you just put it somewhere and then you need it and you don't know where it is? I put it? Where did I put it? It should be somewhere close by. I need a USB-A to USB-C. Oh man, thank you for that super chat. Just had my first wedding last week. Want to thank you for your videos and advice. However, I've had to say I was very overwhelmed, dehydrated. Yeah, weddings are a lot. They are a lot. Oh yes, right. I can't even open it. I keep trying to open it, forgetting that like the hard drive that has the stuff on it that I just imported is not connected. Because it's USB-A and I need it to be USB-C, and I have an adapter somewhere, but I put it up and I don't know where I put it. Great job. I literally just had it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We found it. All right. All right, hold on. I need space for the keyboard for the PC. There. We did it. Is it gonna work? There it goes. Sending you a Thunderbolt 4. I unplugged the hard drive while I was inside the actual library like an idiot. Oh, we got Tom in the house. Hey, man. Mine wasn't gonna come till mid-November, but I went in store on launch day and picked one up. Oh, nice. All right. So, like I said, I have a repairman coming that I'll have to like go be like hello to and just see what's happening. But for the most part, right now, what we're working with, for everyone who just jumped in, this is the new M1 MacBook Pro Max. I have a 14-inch. I just got it a little bit ago. This is it here for everyone. Ooh, it's beautiful. It's nice. I got my little external hard drive I'm working off of at the moment. And I'm gonna be editing in Lightroom. I have an engagement session that I need to edit. So I just wanted to straight on just jump in and see how this thing works. I haven't actually really done much on it yet. Oh no, my audio's on there. What am I talking about? But yeah, so I just want to basically jump in here and see how this thing works. Just straight on. Nothing attached, just, you know, jumping in the zone, seeing how it works. The files we're going to be working with today, these are GFX 100S files, so they're big, whopping files. There's nothing here that really tells me too much extra about the file size, I don't believe. But yeah, GFX 100S is 100 megapixels, so... Now, what I do need to do is I need to cull it, and I actually just recently re-got Narrative Select. So I was gonna jump in there and try this out again. Look at that hand. Choose the folder. Choose a folder of images. Lightroom. There they go. Here it is. That import was mad fast. That was 800 photos. There's been a couple of things that I've done so far on it and it just like blows through it and I'm like, oh, okay, you're done already. That was awesome. Any advice on how to light well inside a church? I'm from Spain, and here the churches are really old, and some of them have no light sources. They don't even have windows. Usually, even on the darker churches with some windows, it's fine. If not, you can just use a flash. Strobes might be a little much, but yeah, some type of flash. Hey dude, you're more helpful than you realized. The other day, your video really came in handy. Lots of love from Dubai. Uh-oh, hold on. My repair dude is here. Give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. Cool. So I'm using Narrative Select right now. I haven't used it in a while actually, so we'll see how it works. But yeah, I'm gonna jump in here and cull. Now, one interesting thing about this session, so I was using the GFX 100S, and it also can I make this go away? Can I open this up? Oh yeah, look at that. It was pretty dark for this session, but because the GFX 100S has such a good dynamic range, I pretty much just like shot it regardless. Yo, I love how it shows the face. Can I make this smaller? Because that's to close it. I see. Look at these subs. Stop making me want the GFX. Yeah, I was shooting this stuff at like 1600 ISO and it was good to go. And I was like, oh, that works for me. So for this engagement session, we started in-home. In-home sessions are one of my favorite. Hold on, this is not in order, I don't think. Well, no, I was one camera. There's no way it's not in order. $80 mil, you know it. That 80 mil is so good. New to the stream, what kind of software are you using to cull? This is called Narrative Select. So one thing that Narrative Select does is it actually will show you the faces in the photo. And you can see how it like already knows where the faces are. And I can't remember, it's been a while since I've used it, but yeah, you see, so the yellow is saying the eyes are partially open and the focus grade is 82, so it's pretty much in focus. I wish y'all could see the screen of this laptop because it looks really good. Like this live stream, what you're seeing up here, this is not doing it justice at all. Like, it looks really good. The colors are dumb. It looks good. The screen looks amazing. Fast 50mm equivalent. You know what? I think the 80, it feels longer than a 50 to me. Because I used it at a wedding and I felt like I was strapped for space the whole time. Maybe I'll take it to this next wedding. Maybe I'll try to do it again. Yeah, we'll see. John, would you recommend Narrative Select or Aftershoot? So that is actually what I'm trying to figure out right now. So I use both, and this is, for once, you all always ask me questions and I never have an actual answer, but for once I've actually used both together. So I do have thoughts. So the biggest difference between these two is the fact that Narrative Select is still like, it's kind of like Photo Mechanic. You still have to go in and actually cull it yourself. Whereas Aftershoot will cull for you. Now, I do have a lot of thoughts about Aftershoot, and right now my biggest gripe that I'm personally having with Aftershoot, because I've culled probably 4 or 5 weddings with it so far, my biggest gripe, and this is all just stuff that they could fix like over time, but my biggest gripe with it is that it tends to over cull. It culls too much. And oh my goodness, all these, it's because I haven't used this in forever. I also just re-downloaded it on the new laptop, so. But yeah, it culls too much, and on top of that, for me, in the way that I cull, it doesn't really, it makes it almost harder to cull for me. What? These are all like out of order. Are these all of the photos? There should have been like a bunch of photos of these. But yeah, so for me, so I cull in the positive, right? So everything's based off of choosing the photos that are gonna work for me. When I use Aftershoot, what happens is it culls it down, and it does pretty well, but then I have to go back and take out the photos I don't need. And for me, that takes a lot longer than just picking what I want. And so currently that is my main issue with Aftershoot. But again, they're still fairly new and they're still working on stuff, so I'm sure they're going to be making improvements and kind of moving on from there. Yeah, like even this session, right? I called this an Aftershoot earlier, and when your camera misses focus, then it would have been a dope shot. This isn't all the photos. I don't understand what's happening. This will be a Brenizer. This is another Brenizer. Yeah, what happened to the rest of the photos? It says 883. There's no way that was all the photos. Wait, what? Oh, did it try and auto? What? What is this? Oh, wow. I didn't realize Select tried to... It tried to call for it. Okay, I didn't realize it does the AI stuff too. Reggie's in the house. Yay! Try tweaking with the settings to be less sensitive. I did that and it still was just doing way too many. Also, yeah, some of the selections, it was just too, like, it missed things that I knew needed to be a shot. I didn't realize Select actually did some of the AI culling too. Because I think it's skipping some of the photos. Whatever, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Ship, what's that mean? I don't need to ship it. Can I just go back? Is that it? Can I just go back? I think I edited like 2. But you know what? I don't even care. I'm just about to. Metadata. Read metadata from files. And yeah, there it goes. There goes my 5 stars coming through. Same experience with AI culling. It's losing stuff. Yeah, it's like, it does really well. But sometimes it loses stuff that I don't want to. And then halfway, for me personally, sometimes it's harder to try and go back through everything to cull it down again now that I've, you know, it's like extra work to go back and try and recull it that I'd rather just cull the whole thing anyway. Now, I didn't know that Select also did AI culling, because that's basically what it was doing. It's like sectioning stuff off. I wonder, I haven't even looked at the preferences at all. Keyboard assessments. Show icons, ignore faces in the background. Imports. Generate high-res previews. Always use the folder name as a project. Yeah, there's nothing in here. But it's definitely doing that. Open shot panel, eye focus, open filters. Oh yeah, see? Show images without assessment warnings. So you can just automatically like, I didn't know it did that. Cause yeah, like all these photos were lost. I didn't see where they went. Morning, folks. Hello, welcome to the stream. All right, so we read the metadata from the files. Got about 66 photos, but I know there's more than that. But what I want to do, let's go find some of those Brennizers at the end here. Let's put this computer through its paces. Mind you, I'm not hooked up to any power right now. There's a Brennizer right here. So this is 17 photos, GFX 100S, so 100 megapixel files. We're going to photo merge with the M1 Max with the 64 gigs. So I went all the way out as far as the processor is concerned. And let's see how it does. It's 1700. 1700 megapixels. Every time I make a Brennizer with the GFX 100, I'm like, why do I do this? Like, why? This is what I'm here for. I did a job last week that needed 50 panos of 38 shots. I mean, this is pretty good. We're like, what, two minutes in? 3 minutes, barely? Can you do a Brennizer over 9,000? That was pretty fast. That was what? Barely 5 minutes. 9,000 photos of the GFX 100S. Could you imagine? Yeah, it's good. Okay, let's see it actually merge it now. So it looks like it took about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit less than 5 minutes for 17 photos. Oh, the fan noise. So that's funny. So I imported this session last night, right? Directly to the hard drive, which supposedly the solid state drives in here are really fast. No power connected. Fans immediately ramped up. So it's kind of funny because everyone keeps being like, oh, the fans are so amazing. You can barely ever hear them. Them things ramped up. They weren't loud, but you could hear them. Now, I deleted it and went back, connected it to power, and imported onto an external hard drive, and the fans didn't do anything that time. So I don't know if it has something to do with the power or if the SSD is getting hot and it is adding to the overall thermals. That's what I would assume was happening, because when I was going to the external, the fans didn't kick up at all. And it was the exact same session. I was importing it again. Okay, here we go. 17 photos, 100 megapixels. I mean, it's almost halfway done already. Yo. And Adobe doesn't even optimize their stuff the best. You know what I mean? I should have started a timer. I mean, they can't hear it over their noise canceling headphones. Yeah, everybody I've seen that put out a video like, the fans, they're so good, they don't even, you never hear the fans. You hear the fans. I had this thing for one day, imported some photos, and immediately heard the fan. And I was like, I thought you couldn't hear the fans. But it really wasn't that bad. Also, I was like importing 102 megapixel files. So come on. It's working. It's doing it. This is nuts, man. It's giving me hope for the only a 50 plan. Yeah, the 50R, that's probably sweet. The files aren't super huge either. Anybody else waiting for the M1 Max Mac Mini? Yeah, that would be hype. Or like iMacs. Could you imagine that screen with this power? Okay, this is taking, we're probably close to 5 minutes at this point, right? And I wonder if it being on an external hard drive makes the difference. This is also, I think it's an SSD. I don't know how fast the hard drive is. I don't know if the read-write speeds have anything to do with it as well. Like, I would assume that's affecting it to a degree also. Yeah, I feel like this looks bad. I feel like what y'all are seeing over here is looking bad. I don't know why it looks like that. I don't know if there's a way for me to... I don't know if there's a way to work on the colors or anything. Picture. General. 1080, 60. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Oh yeah, the black magic test. I should do that actually. But yeah, so I'm gonna be making some actual videos on this too, because for the most part, there's people who touch on photos, but like even Peter McKinnon dropping a video about editing on the MacBook Pro, and he's using Lightroom, like normal Lightroom, not even Classic. And you know, he's a dope professional. I'm not hating at all. But on the same end, it's just like, I want to see someone, like, I want to see a wedding photographer. Like, I want to see photographers who hurt Lightroom's feelings and comes home and is like, hey bro, I'm gonna import 2,000 photos. Are you ready? Lightroom's, oh no. You know, like that's what I want to see. Like, can we handle that? Because everyone's, oh, MacBook Pros are so amazing. Can I import 4,000 photos mad quick and have them turn into smart previews mad quick? Can you do that? Well, I imported, you know, I had my Sony A1 and I took like 15 photos and imported it and it took 2 minutes. Wow, it was 15 photos. You know, like, love your videos and photography. Thank you so much. Hi, John. Hello. Welcome to the stream. So this thing is still going. We're definitely past 5 minutes at this point. I'm actually kind of surprised it's still going. At this point, for only 17 photos, I feel like it should have been done. M1 Max let me down, y'all. I thought we were gonna get on the stream and be like, oh my goodness, ah! Yo, why is this only doing 1080? Feel like Lightroom stalled out there. No, it's still going. Actually, the fact that I can click around so easily while it's also doing that, that is also like a sign of what it can do. Did I not call this? Hello for the Philippines. Says the guy who imports 3 photos on the M1 Max and posts. It's mad fast. Hey, I was importing this session. It was 800 photos. Uh-oh. I wonder if it is the hard drive. This thing is struggling. I'm gonna say it's the hard drive. Like, I think that's what's happening. Dynamic range. Okay, so, oh my goodness, the light. Hold on. Let me talk about this while I do. Oh, it's almost done. So this was 17 photos, probably like 10 minutes. I don't know if that was the hard drive or not. All right, so we have to talk about something real quick because yeah, that was probably 10 minutes. It finally finished that burnizer. Where did it go? Here it is. We'll edit that in a second. So I stay getting emails from people all the time asking me about, they buy the preset, the natural fills preset, and they're not getting the same look as I'm getting. Now, actually, I'm gonna reset this photo and let's talk about this. So the biggest thing here, y'all, and again, the colors are looking a little off through this, and it won't let me change the format for whatever reason. Oh, will that make the difference? Oh God. So the biggest thing with presets, y'all, the biggest thing with presets is most all presets are not a single click thing and they just make your photos look amazing and perfect. That's not presets. Presets are a base or a color grade that you can start working from there. So I get a lot of people who email me and they're like, hey, I started using your preset and I'm not getting the look that you get. It's like, well, that's because if you've seen, after I put the preset on, I have to go through and do a bunch of like edits and changes. I'm not just putting the preset on. And the biggest spot where I feel people are lacking with the preset is the white balance. White balance is everything. Like, it's your whole photo. I think Reggie at one point talked about it. You need to learn how to edit in Lightroom. Like, there's nothing that's gonna change the fact that you need to learn how to edit in Lightroom. You know, like, you can't change it. Yeah, that looks horrible. Oh my goodness, y'all. Hold on. Why won't this thing work? Another note about presets is it's usually designed on how the photographer lights their photos. John loves softer light. True. But yeah, like you have to edit your photos. You can't just expect it to work. That's not how it works. Let me try this again. We're gonna do a video capture device. And we're gonna pull from the HD60. Why did I buy this thing if it never works? Are you editing the smart previews or the full resolution 1:1 photos? I think I have it turned on to use the smart previews. I can't remember. Performance. Yeah, use smart previews instead of originals for image editing. But yeah, this Brenizer, that thing took a while. But more off, yeah, usually always there's additional balancing that has to be done, like always. Like there's no way to get around that. That's just what it is. No preset is just click it and you're amazing, like hooray. I've edited the photo and it's the best looking photo I've ever done. That's not how it works. Magenta, man, gotta add that magenta. Y'all already know. Oh, but see, it is using the original photo. Oh, this new cropping, I keep forgetting. So I usually crop these 16:9. Boom. I will say it's handling this Brenizer pretty well. Like it's not really stalling up or anything, which is good. My 2014 MacBook Pro almost died yesterday. Took it to Apple and it's okay. But I'm looking to replace it. Looking forward to possibly 27 M1 iMac. Yeah, that would be hype. Yeah, that looks good. I was at 1600 ISO. It was basically like almost nighttime at this point. And look how that came out. GFX 100S doing the work. And again, I wish I could show y'all like the actual monitor because the actual monitor looks great. It really does. And I don't know why I can't use the HD capture. And this HDMI is looking bad as well. About to just start streaming from the MacBook itself. So far, you pleased? Yeah, it seems great. The biggest, so for me, again, I used to talk about using the iPad only all the time. This time of day is the absolute worst. So I used to talk about using the iPad all the time and like only the iPad. So for me as a content creator now, and because I'm speaking so much and I'm going to like speaking engagements and stuff, the being able to edit video on the go was a big thing for me. And while LumaFusion was awesome and it could get things done, it wasn't enough. So I finally bit the bullet and got a laptop. And it's mainly for Final Cut. So I haven't put it through its paces with Final Cut yet, but that's the biggest thing. And so it's sounding like, you know, Adobe's not an actual Apple product, obviously. So they're not fully optimized, but Final Cut should be fully optimized. So that should be much better. But give me 2 seconds. Let me double check on what happened with the repair guy and I will be right back. Y'all, so tell me how this repairman came here, right? To fix our dryer. Mind you, we're renting, right? So I hit up the management company and they were like, I'm like, hey, our dryer's making this really loud noise. It's like broken. They're like, bro, that's your responsibility. I was like, oh, okay, that's great. Call the dude to come fix the thing. He opens it up. This dude, and this is stuff that we never had in there. This dude found an Allen wrench and zip ties inside the dryer. An Allen wrench. How? Like, what? How? I was like, how did this happen? Oh my goodness. I can't even. Yeah, I'm gonna have to recall this thing again since it decided. I thought it was showing. I'm just about to go back to photo mechanic. Good old photo mechanic. Look at that dynamic range though. Tim the Toolman used to live there. How is that your responsibility? Who knows, man? Some of these rental places be like on some whole other, you know, they're like, supposedly the appliances are our responsibility. But it's like people have been living here before us. And they give us the cheapest of appliances. Actually, I could go on forever. The people who own this place are so cheap that we found out last year, because every year we've been here, for some reason the air conditioning stops working over the summer. And they always send someone out, and the person comes out, and then they have to refill the Freon. And finally, there was a single person who figured out, hey, there's like a big leak in your thing. And I was like, oh, that's why every year someone has to come out and fill the Freon. Because what happens is they fill it, we use it during the summer, it sits throughout the winter and leaks out, and then we get back to the summer again and it kind of works fine, and then it just stops. So this dude was like, yeah, there's an actual leak. He calls the owners like, y'all trying to fix this? And they were like, nah, we good. I was like, yo, really? It's like broken. The dude is telling you it's actually broken, and y'all are just like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, that is great. That is awesome. The downsides of renting. There's a lot of pluses to renting, but... So first off, the GFX 100 looks great. Look, this is 1250 ISO. Like, the graininess of it looks good. Also, so far, just from like applying my preset and stuff, it feels like it's flying. The real test would be doing like actual wedding days where I'm like copying and pasting the settings. Not just like an engagement. Oh, snap! It actually has my lens in there for once. I've never seen it do that. But yeah, the iPad is great and it can do a lot of awesome work, and I would still use it as my main thing since most of my main work is done on a desktop. But having a laptop in my case, because I do so much content creation, it's kind of a must at this point. Like, I never really wanted it to be a must-have, but it is, and I just have to deal with it. Hey John, hello from Istanbul. Am I missing y'all's messages? Oh no, okay. Thanks for your suggestion about the 50F1 lens today. Can't wait to take pictures. Yeah, 50F1, so good. Hold on, I got like double mouse and stuff. I was trying to not have my video be totally overexposed, but at this point, it is what it is. Oh yeah, it's like mixed lighting. What happened? Actually, I might be able to sync from this one. Yep. Looks good. Yeah, it feels pretty fast. The real test after this will be seeing what exports look like. Yeah, there was a couple of photos. I'm mad. They got me messed up here. Look. All these photos got skipped. It's having a hard time keeping up with me scrolling through photos, but again, I'm working on an external, so that's probably the biggest factor there. Is the external's probably holding it back. Have you ever been editing a session, had to get up and come back and been like, what was I thinking? When I get to the what was I thinking, it usually happens like way after I've delivered the gallery. Like sometimes I'm literally, I go back to weddings that I delivered and I'm looking at them like, oh no, like why did I edit like that? Yeah, Select just skipped all these photos. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is the hard drive. I ordered a better, like a Thunderbolt, I think it's a Thunderbolt 3 SSD, so that should make a big difference. Because why get a fast laptop and then be working off of slow drives that can't even keep up? I'm actually kind of regretting that I didn't go ahead and just get a bigger hard drive internally, but it also would have taken 50 years for me to get it. But I just wasn't thinking about that. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get 1 terabyte and it'll be great. And I won't even have to, you know, like I won't have to bring extra stuff with me when I travel. But then I was sitting down with myself and I was like, what have I done? I should have just gone ahead and gotten like 4 terabytes in this thing. Cause especially I'm gonna have videos on this too, and that eats up all the space. Oh my goodness. I have kids, if you've ever wondered. Big fan, about to take my X100V and shoot a music festival this afternoon. Nice. Oh, that reminds me, and I need to set it up. Y'all, I might have a giveaway coming up soon. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be really cool. I never thought I'd be able to do an actual giveaway on the channel, but make sure you're keeping an eye on the channel and on the Instagram so you don't miss it, because it's an actual giveaway. I'm excited. Yeah, this is totally the hard drive. Look how slow, like I can only see the little small preview on the left. Now again, this is not the internal, this is an external hard drive. But once I get this faster external, it should be much better. Hey, looking to do a family shoot, how would you price it? just one look, one location for an hour or so. It really just depends on the area you're in and kind of how much you think a family would pay for it. Also, you have to think about your own time and how much you are okay with not wasting your time, but spending your time doing the session. But for family sessions, you're talking like a couple $100, somewhere in that range. Oh! All these photos were skipped. I can't believe this. Oh my goodness, how is it not loading the previews? Is the hard drive that slow? I cannot wait until I get this Thunderbolt hard drive. What's up, John? I appreciate you. Check me out. I'm a wedding photographer. Awesome, based in Toronto. Yeah, this external hard drive is mad slow. Hold on real quick. Maybe render the smart previews that would normally fix the issues. I thought I did. I'm surprised it's only using the original. I guess I didn't. Well, here goes another test, y'all. Let's go ahead and do it. Oops. What am I doing? Select all. Where's build smart previews? I usually do it on import, so I never know where it is when I have to go back and do it. I never remember where it is. Validate DNGs. Click the empty box under the histogram. Oh, I see. Great. Thank you for teaching me. Library previews, build smart preview. Awesome. Thank y'all. Now I know the multiple ways to do it. So again, we'll see how it's going to do with building the smart previews, but since I'm working off of an external, the external is what's slowing this process down. So this is good to see for anyone who's thinking about getting this MacBook Pro and using an external hard drive, is make sure you get a fast hard drive, because it defeats the purpose to buy a laptop for like $2,000 to $3,000 and then you have a slow external hard drive on it that just ruins the whole thing, you know? Like, don't do that. This music is sick. Where's it from? Most all of it's from Artlist, since it's safe for the YouTubes for the most part. I have stories about that too, but I'm not gonna go on Artlist right now. I could though. But yeah, this is all from Artlist, and it's all stuff that I'm like, my style of music, as I would say. I'm into a lot of that chill hop type of stuff. Lo-fi, chill out, all that good stuff. So while it's building smart previews, let's go ahead and keep editing. So yeah, that's going to be the disclaimer for this whole stream. I'm working off of a slow external, it looks like. And that's really kind of dictating how fast everything is going. Oh, this screen looks so good, y'all. Like, I wish you could see it. It looks really good. Hey John, when do you think is a good time to start a website? I've been thinking about using Squarespace rather than just socials alone. I'm unsure about pricing or if I need a client base. I would say a website is anything, like at any point you should go ahead and have a website. There should be no question about like when or how or where to do a website. The biggest thing is, especially when you're starting, don't put too much into your website. Like, don't pay a whole bunch of money for it, because you're just starting out. You know, you don't have that kind of disposable income. But on the same end, you need to look legit. You don't want to look fake or flaky or anything of that sort. Like, me and my wife were actually just talking about that. I hate when you look up a service like this this repairman who came by, and you look them up and you want to go on the website or something, or you see their email and they email you and it's just a normal @gmail.com email. It's like, no, bro, if you're trying to run a business, I need to see more than just a Gmail email. Every Smo Joe has a Gmail email. I need to see whoever I am at mybusiness.com email, you know. It just makes you look so much more legit as a business owner. So I believe all business owners should have a website. There's no reason not to have a website. And again, if you've kept up with any like social media manager type people or anything, the question that always comes up is, what happens if Instagram dies? You know, what happens if Instagram is done? Where you gonna get work from then? Your website is pretty much foolproof. It's controlled on your end for the most part. Like, all of Squarespace would have to die for your website to be gone. And that's asking a lot. Whereas like with Instagram, we're already seeing them being like, hey, we're not for photo sharing anymore. Do you know? So they're already being like, we don't care about y'all like that. Because they're trying to fit their own business needs. Y'all, the dynamic range on the GFX 100 and the way the noise looks and how it handles it is kind of ridiculous. Like, I'm shooting at 1600 ISO and I feel totally comfortable with it too. So here's another thing. The fact that I'm editing so well, so smoothly, while it's also building smart previews, just shows you what this M1 Max chip is capable of keeping up with. Like, it's not lagging at all, while it's also building smart previews at the same time, which is pretty impressive. My computer usually is like, oh god. And I usually just let it build the smart previews by itself. Also, have any experience with Choreo for dual camera straps? I've never heard of that company. I'm pretty much all in on Holdfast. I've been using them for years. So honestly, I've seen that there's other strap companies, but for the most part, the only one I know about is Holdfast. Hello there, I'm interested in acquiring these presets, but I am an Olympus user and I do not know if there's also valid for it. So Panasonic and Olympus are the only cameras I have never had a chance to actually test the preset on. So if anything, shoot me an email and send me a couple of raw photos and I'll edit them for you. And I'll give you my opinions on how it seems and if it's fine before you try and buy it. Because yeah, I fully understand that. Like, please don't just buy it. I've never used it on those cameras. Honestly, I don't think I've ever in my life edited any photos from those cameras. So shoot me an email and I'll be glad to take a look at it. Your content always matters first on your own website. You can't be having some other platform as your yeah, exactly. In fairness, usually if Lightroom is doing anything, it sort of says, yeah, it's true. So yeah, I'm surprised. It's like, it's over here having a good old time. Again, the photos are loading a little slow, but that's because of the external hard drive. I think the Thunderbolt external hard drive that I ordered is coming today, actually, so. Wow, that was fast. I thought I turned my notifications off. Wait, I should be able to sync from these. Hey John, I use your preset with Panasonic, works great. Oh, awesome, cool. Yeah, I pretty much, from what I found, and that's why I'm selling it, like I feel confident enough in the preset that it should be fine on most cameras. But on the same end, you know, I'm also gonna be honest. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all just so I can make some money. You know what I mean? Like, I've never used it on those cameras, so I think even on the website, I don't say anything about Panasonic or Olympus at all because I've never used it on them. Did it finish? Okay, it's taking some time to show the preview. I'm broke, baby. I really like the whole fast stuff with the straps and the bag you keep on your back, trying to replicate it on a budget. So I'm looking at Peak Design's Everyday Sling. I mean, you could always, in all honesty, you could buy some leather belts and just strap them together, really. Because that's about what Hold Fast is. Like, it's a really great product. It's awesome. But if you were really just trying to DIY it, you could probably just slap some belts together. I can for sure send you over some Panasonic files if you want to play around though. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be helpful. We just bought a few for our employees here at Gear Focus. Awesome. Clarity plus 14. I ended up adding that because I tend to do that to my photos in the first place. So I was like, let me just go ahead and add that so I'm not clicking every time to add the clarity. I used to only do it for photos that had like detail shots, so when it was like still life stuff. But at this point, I was like, I do it nearly to every photo. Also too, I sent some photos off to be edited, and I guess they assumed that's how I liked it, so they did that, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool, I guess. So I just left it like that. Wait, is the preset on this? Wow, that looks good. Yeah, so far this is really good, the fact that it's still in here keeping up. Just fine, while also building smart previews. Like, I'm flying through these photos no problem, and it's building smart previews at the same time. Constrain crop. That 45 is low-key fantastic. So little distortion for it. Yeah, the 30. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I will bring the GFX with me to this wedding and try to use it again. Maybe I'll use it as my wide camera. I'm scared though. Actually, I don't want this photo. Have you edited video with it already? Not fully. I kind of looked at a couple of my video, like some of my videos I had done in the past, but I haven't actually edited a video with it just yet. So I don't know how it's holding up for video, but that's what I mainly got it for. So I'm really hoping it does well with video. I have a wedding coming up on Sunday that I'm gonna try and get behind the scenes footage of. So I'll be trying to edit that here. And my plan with video is, what I'd like to do is actually put the video on the SSD that's in the computer. Now, 1 terabyte for video is not much when you're shooting in 4K, but I'll make do. But yeah, I figured I'll edit like one singular video off the actual hard drive, and then everything after that, I'll move it onto an external. Or this Thunderbolt external that I got might actually be pretty good, so we'll see how it goes. In-home sessions look pretty cozy. Kind of want to do one. They're really fun. Do you price differently? Nope. They're just the same as any other engagement session. The in-home section pretty much counts as one of the locations. And generally for my engagement sessions, I'm doing 2 locations. So yeah, we'll usually start in-home, kind of get comfy, warm up a little bit, get the couple comfortable. When you're doing an in-home session, make sure to tell them to do some kind of activity. So like, chat with them beforehand and say like, you know, if you all do something together, there's like something you like to do often, some kind of hobby or something of that sort, let's go ahead and, you know, do that. So they make coffee often together. They like to do Legos together. So you saw we had them sitting down just hanging out. Then we kind of messed around with some Legos for a bit. Then we made a coffee. They made me a bomb espresso over ice. And yeah. Then after we felt like we got enough photos and they had a little fun doing their activities, we went over to another location. You can totally do that. You could even shoot it all on 45 crop and just, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just like use the GFX 100S as my wide lens camera and then just crop in on everything if I need to. Like if I wanted a little tighter, just crop in, because you can do that. You can crop the thing like over 50% and it still looks great. Especially if the other camera that I'm shooting with is going to be GFX or just like an X-T3. Like I can literally crop it down over half to match the X-T3 file size, and it's gonna be good to go. Hey John, do you ever touch the parametric curve? Parametric curve? You talking about like the tone curve? Not really. Again, I have my preset kind of set up the way I like it, and outside of that, I don't touch it like at all. If it's how I want it, it's how I want it, and I leave it that way. And I actually gave a talk yesterday for WPPI, the Reset series, and I talked a lot about that. As a business owner, like a photography business owner, consistency is a part of owning a business. So as much as you'd love to just be creative and be able to like edit a photo however way, when it comes to owning a business, you need consistency so that your clients know what they're actually getting from you. There it goes. Pretty good. It did all those smart previews while I was editing and was fine. Oh my goodness, I thought I was on Do Not Disturb. Why is that happening? Is someone trying to hit me up? Is it important? Is it important? Will you be adding more client onboarding and financial videos to your Patreon account? I'm going to become a Patreon. I could. I don't have too many on there now, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want to focus on. I think these are all the same lens. I should be able to just... Here, no, let's do it from this one. Oops. Why is the sink lit up like that? I don't remember it ever looking like that. Oh my goodness, so fast. It's like pasting settings. Brrr, there it is. Trying my best not to go too heavy on the magenta, but y'all already know I see all this green and I don't know what to do with myself. Except for turn up the magenta. Too much green. Oh, this was the first shot of the Brennite. Yeah, I'm a black and white this one. Someone really wants to talk to you about your extended warranty. You know, honestly, that's probably the case too. I hate it because I don't be answering my phone and I miss important calls. And then the one time I'm like, let me go ahead and answer this and make sure it's not like a client or a planner for a wedding coming up or something of that sort. And I answer it and it's spam always. And I'm like, bro, man, I'm just over here trying to live my life. I'm just over here trying to get this money. Y'all always calling me about something stupid. Actually, the calls I hate more than anything else, it's not even the extended warranty stuff. There's always some kind of venue or someplace trying to put me on their list. And honestly, and it's kind of cool, I'm at the point now where I actually don't even want to advertise. At least not through them. So they hit me up and they're like, hey, would you love to be on whatever list? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Do you need more clients? Nah, I'm good. Well, would it be helpful if? No, I'm good. And they're like on the phone like, are you really getting good work like that? Yeah, I am. You know? And they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll talk to you later. And I'm like, yeah, okay, bye. Sorry to hurt your feelings. Like, they expect everyone to be struggling photographers, and that's how they get you. So that's a big tip, y'all. Like, you know, keep your wits about you. Don't let them promise you these things and let them take your money just because you're like, oh, I'm not really booking. Just don't. Don't let them do that to you. How did Select skip over all these photos? Like, when I was culling, none of these showed up at all. John, I'm very curious what would happen to the edit if you change the profile to Adobe Standard V2. So I do that for my X-T3 photos. That's why I started using Adobe V2. But you see here, it's saying that it's not. Do they even have it in here? They're saying it's not able to be used with my my camera, so I can't even change it to V2, or I'd have to go download it again or something. But that's what this is. See, that has V2. Maybe I need to download the profile again. It's a per camera thing, I thought. Hey John, this comment has nothing to do with photos, but congrats, the weight. It's really noticeable in your face. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it really is. I go back to my old videos and I'm like, oh my God. But that's why I started trying to lose. My neck too is like super skinny. That's what happened though. I like just let myself go. And then I would look at it and I would just be like, I can't. You know, I'm slowly approaching 40 at this point. And I was like, I'm not about to turn 40 and just be out of shape. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Like, I need to at least be in some decent shape or something. My business phone is always blowing up with fake calls from companies trying to help me rank better and go, yeah, oh my God, I hate those calls. And they're like, do you want this thing? I actually don't, I'm good. I'm getting enough business, I'm fine. And they're like, are you sure? Yes, I'm okay. I don't need you. And sometimes they're on the phone like, how? How can a photographer not want this? And it's like the Google ones, those I feel like are straight up scams. But the venues, they just expect you to jump at the, like, oh my goodness, I get to be in your venue magazine? Yeah, sign me up. No. So whenever I'm in there and I'm like, no, I'm good. And they're like, oh, how? I thought photographers were struggling. Not everyone is. Yeah, that pace setting is pretty quick. Can you upload later on with part? I don't understand. Learning videos later on with parts? Later with parts? You mean like I want to work on a course. I'm gonna be doing that soon. It's gonna be a little bit more in depth than my full wedding day videos, but I'm not sure I totally understand. Good old GFX. Just plop. Don't mind me, sir. I was just curious. I shot with XT2, XT3 for this wedding past weekend, and everything is off color-wise. Yeah, the V2 works for the XT3. I don't know what it is about the XT3, but the colors are a little different. I found, at least. And that's why I was using Adobe V2 for my GFX. That's why XT3 has its own preset. Did I edit this one already? I did, right? Yeah. Can you upload this editing learning video later on? Oh, in parts? Well, I'm just gonna leave up the full live stream. I usually don't go through and break it into parts, but I need to go back and start making some like basics of Lightroom type videos. Here goes another example of I'm not getting the results that you're getting. Like, did you see how I had the white balance that, y'all? Like, you have to make sure that you're actually editing the photo. You can't just slap a preset on it and expect it to work. And I've said that with the preset. Like, look at how off that is. And if y'all want to see me make a video on like white balance, let me know, because I've always just been used to white balance. But if that's something that's like hard, I'm cool to talk about it in a video. The biggest thing is just focusing on skin tones. That's like really what it comes down to. My boy Ben Tran in the house. Hello, I have a question. Do you outsource your editing? I usually do. I have too much in life going on right now, and I got 3 kids. I try my best to outsource when I can. This song can go somewhere. Oh, I can't just skip it. Oh my goodness. This used to be a gaming channel. Do you ever let your clients know your editing is outsourced? Has anyone ever had a problem with it? I don't let them know, but I don't think it makes a difference. Also, my outsource, they're using my presets and everything, and then I double check them. So like, that's one of those things where like telling them is kind of null and void. Like, and I've talked about that before. That's the same as like when couples do a meeting with you to see if they want to book, and they're like, what camera do you use? Why are you asking me? You don't care? You don't know cameras? Like, what are we, why? So kind of that same difference. Like, they don't care how it happens. They just want a great product that looks good. So how it happens doesn't matter. But if your stuff looks off or wrong or just totally out of sync, which is something you should have checked, then yeah, then you'll hear something about it. All right, so this is 87 photos. I still want to do more, so I'm gonna go back, but I want to put it through a ultimate stress test. Let's go ahead and export this boy and see how it does. Should I export to the actual SSD? You think that'll make it go quicker? Should we try that out? Specific folder. Let's go under pictures, I guess. Make a new folder called exports. Engagements. Liz and Mike. And I'm not going to put this in another folder. We're going to JPEG 100% quality sRGB. We're not resizing to fit, but I want to change this just because I usually do long edge, but we're not resizing. We're going to do 300 PPI, sharpen for screen. I want to do, yeah, I'll do standard. And then after export, I'm going to open another application, which is going to be exposure X7, the newest one. And we'll skip out on JPEG Mini this time. Or should I add it in the process? Insert JPEG Mini. Cool, that's the process, I guess. Should be quicker. So I talked to Ernesto and asked if he had the time to meet you at the photo cookout since he was a speaker there too. I'm surprised that, yeah, I forgot that he was even there, and then he was like doing a lot. I think he taught a class and he was just shooting a lot, but yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk. So yeah, okay, so we're gonna export into we're not gonna go into a folder. We're going directly onto the SSD, which hopefully should make it faster. We're JPEG 100% sRGB, full resolution 300 PPI. Mind you, these are GFX 100S files, so they're 102 megapixels. Screen sharpen standard. It's also going to go through JPEG Mini, which is going to reduce the size, and then open up in exposure 7. Boom. 87 photos. I should have timed it. Here, let's time it with a couple of seconds off. So we missed a couple of seconds, but we'll see how it goes. So I got it running, if y'all can see. And there goes the lighting again. These M1s are like insane. Now I have to actually focus on the edit instead of waiting for the laptop to catch it. Looking for some advice with outsourcing companies. I use the Image Salon. I like them a lot. Watch. The moment I change this, y'all, the sun's gonna come back out and it's gonna just destroy, and I'm gonna be overly exposed. Oh, it's already happening. Here it comes. I'm gonna be all the way overexposed. Hello from the UK. Thanks a bunch. So we're a minute in, and it looks like it's getting through these files pretty quickly. Right now the fans aren't ramped up. Actually, the only fans that I'm hearing is my PC, which is what I'm running this like stream on. But the laptop's fine. Also, I'm going off of battery power and I'm like half battery. I was pretty much about full when I started. Did you ask about the Squid Games for the wedding we're shooting this Sunday? Yeah, it's a surprise for the guests. They're doing like 3 little games for their guests, so that should be fun actually. Yeah, Ben is gonna be second shooting for me, y'all. Are you streaming and exporting right now? That the only reason that is because I'm streaming from a PC. So the MacBook is not streaming. Oh, there go the fans. I wonder if I can let y'all hear that. Oh, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Hold up. Let's stop the music. Oh wait, that's the wrong mouse. Oh yeah, y'all aren't gonna be able to hear that. But yeah, the fans are going. They're like audibly ramped up. So that's, again, everyone keeps saying like you can barely hear the fans, but they're not doing like extreme pro level. At least most of the YouTubers, they're not like heavily stress testing it. And also too, most of the videos I've seen when they are heavily stress testing it, it's like stuff that's better for the computer. And that's based off of what I've seen. So not saying that there's no one else talking about it, but you know, some people are like, oh my God, it's running like 8K video in Final Cut ProRes. Well, yeah, because that's what it does. Like, it's good at that. Wow, y'all. So 87 files, we're only 3 minutes in and it's almost done. I question, how do you actually shoot weddings without much experience? Is shooting for free a stupid thing to do? It's not stupid, but don't make it the norm. Don't advertise yourself as free. If someone approaches you and is asking for wedding photography, or if it's someone you know, like 6 degrees of separation, and you know them well enough, then it's okay to do it for free, but don't get caught up in the free. Because that's what happened to me when I tried to open my own audio studio. Or basically I was doing audio post-production for like small films and stuff. I did a bunch of stuff for free, and then I became the free guy, and it made it very hard to get work. So it's not stupid, just be careful. Like, if you're doing something for free, it should be because you wanted to do it for free, not someone asked you if you could do it for free. Tyler Stallman did a great job using it in a real world situation, but he got the maxed out max. I think I'm maxed out as well. However, I'm on a 14, and supposedly the 16 can push a little bit more power, I think, because the thermals are better. How many images do you usually deliver per wedding? It ranges between like 600 to 1,000-ish, somewhere in that range. Watch, John. I walked in to my first wedding extremely confident. Also second shoot. Yeah. Second shoot or shadow someone shoots a wedding. Yeah. Second shooting and stuff is great. I still second shoot to this day. At this point, it's less for experience for me and more just to help other photographers out. But again, I'm always open to learning stuff too, and that's like a life process. It's something everyone should, no matter how much you do. Like, I'm not over here like, oh, I teach people. I don't need to second shoot. I second shoot all the time. This is about to do it, y'all. This is about to export 87 102 megapixel photos in less than 10 minutes. Right now we're at 6. And again, I took a little bit of time to start up, but that was probably maybe like 30 seconds. Yep, there goes the sun coming back, ruining my exposure. Natural light is not your friend. Uh-oh. Oh, was that it? Image exceeded size? How's that possible? It's exporting. You can't exceed the size. That was the Brenizer shot. Okay, so that was 6 minutes and some change. 87 photos. 102 megapixels. It just exported like now the fan's ramping back down. Have you ever shot a wedding by yourself? How did you handle the stress, if any? I shoot most of my weddings by myself. Like, the majority of my weddings are by myself. Actually, my first full wedding day video was by myself. And I recorded it just on a GoPro, but how do I get back to the grid? I don't even know how to use this no more. What is it? This looks different. Why does it look different? Oh, okay, here we go. So I add my sharpening and grain to all the photos, and then I go back and I find just the black and whites. And I add my black and white preset to them. Exposure feels like it's faster too. It usually struggles a little bit with what I'm doing. How did it not export the Brenizer? I've never in my life seen Lightroom say it can't export something. How did it exceed the size? Did I eat up my is my hard drive full? Go away, what are you? Stop. Stop. No, I have 700 gigs. I don't understand. Okay, so that's done. So let's do another test. So we're gonna save all these. These are just JPEGs, but I'm curious to see how it goes. So 86 JPEGs now being saved after I made some additional edits on top of them. He's a pro. He gets texts from me when I'm second shooting from other photographers about how the day goes. How you do with family members, but to take pictures on the cell phones, they don't. And if they do, I tell them to get out the way. I mean, really, so I've talked about this, and I'll probably go more in depth whenever I make courses, but you have to control the wedding day. The biggest thing I learned early on is you have to control the wedding day. I feel like most of the time photographers end up being stressed about wedding days is because you approach it from a place of like, there's this event happening and I have to take photos, versus it being like, this is my event. Like, at this event, I tell people what to do to get the photos I need. And they're gonna do what I tell them to do so that I can get these photos for my couple. And that matters more than anything else. I'm gonna tell you what to do so we get these photos. I don't care about nothing else, because my job is to do whatever it takes to get the best photos for my clients. When you start approaching weddings like that and not like, oh, what am I gonna do? They're standing in a room. No. I'm in control of the photos. And when you start approaching it like that, it changes everything. So from the get, when I vet my couples out, I tell them about how I approach everything. I tell them what I need from them. I tell them about the shot list, which is not a bunch of random photos. I don't let my couples do that. If they're like, I saw this cool picture on Instagram. No, sorry. I don't do that. Tell me about the things I don't know about you. If you have special family heirlooms that I don't know about. If you're going to change your dress at reception and I don't know that. If you have special shoes and you want photos of that and I don't know that. Or like this recent wedding coming up, they're going to do a surprise Squid Game and I don't know that. That's what I want to know. I need to know that so that I know it's happening so I can capture it. So when we're at the wedding day, the couple already gave me the control. They know that I'm the man. I've introduced myself like, here I am. I'm your photographer and y'all listen to me. And the couple's like, yeah, listen to him because I want these photos. Then after that, it's just really putting yourself in that authority, like I'm the photographer. If people come in and they want to take cell phone photos, that's fine. But if they get too close to me, I will be like, hey, back off. They're paying me for these photos. You know, I will say no, move out the way. But on the same end, I'll also let them take cell phone pictures because I don't care. As long as you're not blocking me or messing up my shot, it's whatever. If you're talking about like at a ceremony, unfortunately, there's not much you can do to it, but I will walk up in the middle of the aisle nice and quietly and tap on their shoulders and be like, yo, move out the aisle. I will do it. I will do it. Actually, at my last wedding, there's all kinds of things. When you're hands off, you miss so much. So at my last wedding, the bride, her veil, where she was standing and how the wind was blowing, it was blowing her veil like up and in the opposite direction, and it was blocking her face. It was all over it was just wrong. No one liked it. She didn't like it. The maid of honor, who's usually at the front of the line at the wedding and the ceremony, they usually like fluff the dress out and everything. I kept like motioning to her to grab it, and she wouldn't go up and grab it. So I went up to the front of the ceremony and grabbed her veil and handed it to the maid of honor. Because it is my job to get the good photos. And if the veil was blocking her face for the whole thing, I'm not gonna turn around and be like, sorry, the wind was blowing your veil. No, bro. I went up there and I moved it so we got the good photos. That is a wedding photographer. And that is why I'm not stressed. And I talked about this in the speaking thing I did yesterday for a WPPI, but like you have to like, oh my goodness, I can't with the lighting, but you have to control your wedding days. My process for weddings is extremely similar. Always. I do it the same way every time. And my creativity leans within that stability. And the stability helps me not to be stressed because I know exactly how I'm going to do it. And if for some reason things kind of change a little bit and we have to go off script some, it's easier for me to adjust to that because I had the stability versus just showing up and being like, oh my God, I have to take photos. What's happening? Oh no. You know, I'm like, this is how we're doing. We have to adjust. That's fine. We'll just do this now. And we'll have time to wait later and we'll be able to get it in here and it'll be cool. Oh, great. Okay. Now we're back on schedule again. Like you have to have that. So that's a long answer to your question, but it's something I truly believe in. And the reason I believe in it so much is I had that issue. That was one of my biggest issues is I was very hands off with weddings. I always felt like I was in the way. One of the biggest pet peeves I have is like watching other wedding photographers on YouTube who do like full wedding day behind the scenes or just behind the scenes of a ceremony. And the main thing they talk about when it comes to ceremony is staying out of the way. Like all day they're like, oh, I try not to do this to stay out of the way. Bro, I'm there to take the photos. If I'm in the way to get the shot, that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, I rant forever. I could go on forever. So many people watch my behind the scenes wedding days and they're like, oh, you're just like staging everything. Wedding days are staged. The whole thing is staged. We don't have to do that. We don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to stand together and say, hey, you're married, to go to a special reception party. We don't have to do it. So once we all understand that, yes, we're putting on a party, we're getting flowers for show, all of it is staged, they want photos of everything that they staged. So it's your job, no matter what, to get the photos of what was staged. So if I have to be like, hey, y'all stand here to take the photo and then have your moment together, that's better than me just being like, and then having the photos kind of suck because the background was bad or someone left a water bottle and I just like left it there because I don't want to be in the way. Like, no, command your wedding days, really. And it's not that I'm not being an ass like, hey, these are for my photos. It's less about me and my creativity and my photography and more about the fact that my couples paid me and trust me to get good photos. So the reason I command the day is to get good photos for them, not for me and my portfolio. That's the biggest understanding. Don't command your day because you want the shot. It's not that. You're commanding the day to get it for your couple. You get dope shots because you get dope shots. But for the couple, you're making sure that no matter what happens, I'm going to get these photos. If I have to go tell someone, hey, stop doing this so we can get the photo, I will do it. Because That's what they want from me. That's what they paid me for. But that was my long rant. Do you also do wedding video? I do a little bit of wedding video, but mainly photo. Can I clip that timeline talk and send it to every single photographer I've second shot for the last 3 months? I mean, do it. I hate, like, people just don't, they're too hands off. Like, don't show up to your wedding. I write my own timelines. Me, the photographer. Even if they have a planner, I write a timeline. Half the time I write the timeline and the couple gives it to the planner, and then the planner uses that for like the start of the day. Because especially the start of the day, from the start of the day up into reception, that is you, the photographer's time, or up into the ceremony. Everything before that is you. It's all you. And if you don't manage it well, it's gonna fall apart and it's gonna suck. Ceremony on, that is like just the event, because now you're starting to involve the rest of the guests. So you just have to roll with that. But yeah, if you're not writing timelines, that's a problem. On that note, have you ever had a couple come back at you and say that you were rude to a family member or something of that sort? No, because that's the biggest thing. I'm not rude. That's the biggest thing. I'll tell them to move, but I'm not rude about it. And usually if there's a family member who's that adamant and that pushy, the couple will see it and know it and tell them to chill out. But I'm nice about it. I'm not like, move out the way, and like shoulder chucking them. You know, like, I'm nice. I'm like, hey, I'm the photographer, you're blocking me. You know, I'm trying to get these shots for the couple, you're blocking me. Very truthful, but respectful at the same time. And again, like I said, if they're not in my way, I let them take the photos. So it's very rare that I deal with someone who's so pushy that they think they can hop in front of me. Like, it's rare. Nah, man, I'm everywhere during the ceremony. I'm getting the shot I was hired for. Exactly. Like, during the and again, I'm respectful of stuff. So especially like Catholic weddings, and they're like, you can't go anywhere up to the type. That's cool. I don't do that. But I'm gonna move around where I need to be. Weddings where they're not so specific, or they're like, whatever, I'll stand behind, I'll do what I need, like, I'll get the shots. Because at the end of the day, and that's the biggest thing you have to remember as a photographer, it's great that you don't want to be in the way of this event happening, but the only thing left after the event is what you get. So if you don't get stuff because you don't want to be in the way, then there's stuff that's just lost forever because you didn't want to be in the way. Like, there's no point to that. I'm gonna stand where I need to stand to get the photo so that you can remember what happens, because that's my job. And this event happens once, so my job is kind of the most important. The flowers die, the chairs get put up, the event, the venue kicks you out at the end of the night. You know, they're like, and that's time, get out. You know, you and your guests get out now. What I'm doing lasts past that day. So as long as I'm not being rude or like being hateful to anyone, or just, you know, like totally disrespecting the event, if I'm not doing those things, then I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get the photo. I get your point in reasoning, but no, it doesn't have to be staged. I mean, so everyone says that. I will challenge you to that, and I will do a editing photos, and I want to see a bunch of photos. I'll do a live stream where everyone can submit to me a lot of their getting ready photos, and I bet you money that the majority of the getting ready photos that aren't slightly staged have all kinds of things in the background of the photos, and they just look horrible. And again, when we talk about staged, that's not like posing the picture, it's just making it nice. If you look at the majority of content that we consume, so like reality TV, all of that stuff is staged. Everything is staged. Most of the time, if something's normal and natural, it's boring. No one wants to see that. They don't. It's boring. And if that's the case, if I'm not staging a photo and making it like a beautiful photo, I may as well just let a family member get an iPhone and take the photos. Like, really? Why are you paying someone $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to just snap a shutter? Anybody can do that. I'm creating good looking moments. And again, when we talk about staged, that doesn't mean that I'm taking the feeling out of it. And I think a lot of people, their whole idea about the stage thing is what throws them off to not get the good photos. And that's what I mean by the whole hands off, like, oh, like when you do that, you miss the potential. Most of the biggest wedding photographers and all the people you see winning awards and all this stuff, they stage their photos. You're not getting a nice photo without staging it. But it doesn't mean I'm telling them how to act. All I'm doing is say, hey, stand here because the lighting is good. Now do what you were doing. And that's it. Everything else is them. Everything else happens for real. I don't like to like pose my photos so heavily that I'm telling everybody what to do and when to do it and where to do it. But if you're not staging stuff, you get sloppy photos because life is boring. People get ready and there's just stuff. I mean, even this scene y'all are looking at where it's halfway kind of clean behind me because of the framing, it's staged. Everything is staged. Even photos are staged. Like, it's the way you're looking at it from a camera. It's a staged thing. It's not real life. So again, I could go on forever, but from what I've seen, most of the dopest photos from the dopest photographers are staged. It's directing. You know, that's what it is. It's not that it's fake. It's just directing. It's like a movie. And you know, and again, these couples are paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to create this event that doesn't need to be like that. So yeah, direct it like a movie. You know, because if not, mom could have taken the photos, or Uncle Joe in his Nikon, old Nikon or something. So yeah, a lot of people say that. And again, I came from there, so that's not me just hating. That was me. I used to be, oh, I'll just take photos. Actually, you know what? Let's let me see if I can pull up some examples. I'll go in on my own work because I used to do that. I don't know if I have my oldest photos, so I might not be able to show y'all. So this export took a lot longer, y'all. We're like 15 minutes in and it's still working. I can't tell if it's faster than what I usually do, but I'm assuming, yeah, so that was like 15 minutes. I'm assuming that exposure's not really made for the M1 stuff yet. Let me go look at some of my old work. Do you shoot with the electronic shutter with Fuji during the wedding when you're outside? I mean, I know it's a flickering problem, but no, I don't usually. It's usually never that bright. How do you get around the weird squiggles in Lightroom? I don't sharpen in Lightroom. I do my sharpening and exposure, which is what we were that's what I was doing, is I was exporting. Oh, look at my battery, y'all. So those exports really hurt the computer's battery. So yeah, giving it heavy work does make it work kind of hard. But obviously, like, what else would it do? These look good though. Is this the full size? That ain't the full size though, is it? Oh no, it has to display it small because look at the dimensions. 9,552 GFX. Maybe something is always staged when taking photos, even candids. I'm a big candid moment even though the subjects aren't staged. Could you show me some XT3 files? Export of XT3? I don't have any right now. I have to import them and stuff. Yeah, it's from those poses that can get them laughing or intimate moments. Weddings are there for the couples, not for your... Well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. Like, it's not there for my photos, but the couples want your photos and your look. So it's not about me getting portfolio work. It's about me providing what I provide for couples, which is good photos. So again, if I just let them stand around in a dirty room and then take photos and be like, that was your wedding day, they're not getting the best of what they could get. That's what they're paying for. So let's see some of my old work. I don't even remember none of these. I don't even know what wedding is this. Oh yeah. There's no getting ready photos for this one. And it's not, see, also too, when people are like, oh, stop staging photos, it's not like I stage everything all day, obviously. But especially when people are getting ready, like if you're not a part of that, you're just letting them do whatever and the photos end up looking bad. Okay, let's see. This is an old wedding. So this was at a hotel. So I got dress shot, I got shoe shot. Like, look at this. What is this, bro? Word? I should have cropped in harder. Look at all this. You know, like look at this, okay? They're getting ready. What is this photo? What is happening here? Like, I can see that they're getting ready, but it's just, I don't know, there's not much happening. And this is my own work. This is me hating on myself. Like, it's not doing much of anything for me. Make sure Backblaze is not backing up. My internet is... Do you edit every single photo from RAW to JPEG, or do you edit JPEGs as well? Generally, I am shooting only RAW. So I'm editing from RAW. So this is okay, that's fine. See, like, technically, this was kind of staged. The only thing that was staged about it is where they're standing. So again, it's not like I'm telling them everything. It's just, hey, could you stand here for me? But look at this. Look at all this mess in the back. Someone's sitting here randomly in the robe. You got this stuff here on the left. You got her over here chilling. This could have been so much of a nicer, cleaner photo if I just would have been like, hey, can y'all move real quick? And that's my main point. But yeah, all of this is natural and candid. It's not like I'm not capturing what's happening. But if you want your photos to be overall clean, you need to direct the day some. Because if not, you just have messy photos. So yeah, this was 2016, 2017. This is old. I was still on Canon at this point. Oh, hold up. Let me not close the wrong thing. So yeah, again, to each their own, but I really think you can still get what you want to get without having this very hands-off mentality. And I think the hands-off mentality ends up hurting a lot of photographers more than it helps. And that's why I'm so adamant about talking about how you need to stage stuff and things like that. Because again, a lot of photographers who end up being hands-off, they end up getting bridezillas. Like, it just happens. Everyone always asks me, oh, how do you deal with bridezillas? I don't, because I don't ever have them, because I'm making sure I get what they want. Not just sitting back and taking photos and then being like, well, the reason I wasn't able to do this is because, no, they paid you. You can't let the day run you. I think not staging shots is the equivalent of run and gun shooting. Exactly. Staging and posing is not the same thing. Slight direction makes a big, exactly. And that's what it is. It's slight direction. It's not posing. It's not telling people what to do and how to act. It's just slight direction to make the photo cleaner. Like, Me nowadays, I would have had them move this stuff off the bed. This is just uncalled for. It doesn't add to the photo. Honestly, it's distracting, and you can get rid of it. It takes 5 seconds to be like, hey, can y'all just move this back here? Okay, stand over there while you're getting ready. Great. Get the exact same photo. And again, this is before I was doing that kind of stuff. Same thing here. He's like, backlit. I don't like backlit. You got all this mess on the side. 5 seconds to be like, can you move it? But this was just me taking the photos as they were happening, rather than a little bit of direction and help. And in my main point too, so you have all these photos. The photos I take nowadays aren't too much different. So that's just the biggest thing, again. But to each their own. I really think it helps. Direction and staging helps photographers, and it keeps you from feeling stressed because you know what's happening and you're in control, rather than just sitting back and hoping a moment happens that you can get a good photo. Because at the end of the day, moments will happen. You know, they're going to. So I'm not trying to create the moments. I'm just directing certain things that are going to end up being sloppy. And to add to this, you mentioned vetting your clients. If someone comes to you that doesn't want that approach, they won't go with you. People choose. Exactly. Exactly. Great work as always, John. I'm about to shoot my first wedding, and it's going to be at night. It's possible to get around with 2 cameras and 2 speed lights. Yeah, if you're indoors, yeah, that's what I usually do. I don't usually do off-camera flash. So yeah, you can do 2 speed lights and be fine. Here's another wedding where I didn't direct it all. Like, look at all this behind them. I just would have had them clean it up so I could shoot from a certain direction if it was me now. But the shots would be about the same. And that's my biggest point. It's not like the shots are different. Like, this real moment would have happened. I mean, she has lipstick on her teeth that I forgot to Photoshop out. I thought one of these was a GIF. But yeah, like, look at all this. Every photographer has it's true. Again, but like I'm saying, the main point I'm trying to say is that sometimes we have to get out of our own way to do better. And from my opinion, from what I see, a lot of times when people think that they're supposed to stand back and not be a part of the wedding day, it's to their detriment as a photographer. And wedding days end up being harder. Wedding days run them down. They get bridezillas and groomzillas. They get more of that because they're too hands off. They become just a person who clicks the shutter rather than a pivotal part of the wedding day. This isn't natural fills. It is not. This is before. This is way before. This was Canon. I think I was using Maston Labs at this point. But you know, like, so this photo, and then you go to some of my more recent work, right? And like, oops. Oh, my laptop just died. The M1 just died. But you know, I'm still getting this stuff. Like, I'm still shooting the moments that are just happening. I'm still getting photojournalistic and candid stuff, but my photos are a lot cleaner now. And there still are going to be photos like this where things are just happening, and it's fine, because obviously that's a part of wedding photography. So that's my point. People act like, whoa, you staged everything. No, not really. It's, you know, you have to control the day enough so that you can get nice, clean photos and also candid moments. You know, like that was another candid moment. But like, now that I control the day, everything is just much cleaner overall. Demonstrating the M1 battery. Yeah. So yeah, it's been what? How long have I been streaming? So 2 hours of heavy lifting and it's dead. Again, I imported 800 photos. I exported 86 photos. I edited 86 photos, and I exported with exposure and also Lightroom. Advice, discussion, and planning ahead and staged are different. Why are you working on Windows machine and tilting it as a MacBook? What? This is my MacBook right here, y'all. I'm working on the MacBook. I'm streaming from the Windows. So earlier, I was actually editing on this, but it's dead now. The streaming was coming from the Windows machine. So there's no tilting happening. People be hating, y'all. Sent you on it a message on Instagram a few weeks ago. You helped me photograph my first wedding. Your videos and tutorials got me through the day. Awesome. But yeah, so many more photos, and they're just cleaner and they're nicer. And again, the moments are happening for real. It's just making sure I get nice, beautiful photos. So yeah, again, different approaches are fine. I've seen photographers fail because they're too hands off. That's all. And I don't want to see more photographers failing all the time because they're too hands off with the process. It's more so what I'm doing is trying to tell people that, like, hey, it's okay to be hands on with weddings. Because for some reason, everybody thinks it's like some kind of cardinal sin to speak up at a wedding, but that's your job as the photographer, to make sure you get the photo. Again, a little guidance. Staging is probably not a good word to explain it. Do you ever do website critiques? I do. I do website critiques. I do photo critiques too, which we need to schedule another photo critique live stream at some point. Agree with John's advice on having desktop screen, then laptop for our next. Oh yeah. All this time I was like looking down. Usually, so what I have this BenQ monitor here. So usually what I do, and what I'm planning on doing is the Hackintosh is still working, but if this thing is fast as they say it is, then basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start hooking this up to the BenQ monitor and using it like that. Chris, thank you. Completed my second family session this week. And I changed it up, the preset to fit my look. I appreciate it. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Super. So yeah, we're out of battery now. We ran it through. Throughout this whole stream, I was working without a battery. So the fact that I got 2 hours of heavy lifting out of this is actually pretty impressive. How do you sign up for a critique? I haven't done it yet, but what I usually do is I schedule a live stream. And then with that scheduled live stream, you'll see like a link to send either your website or your photos. So again, I'll have to schedule that at some point. My wife is pregnant with our fourth, so that's coming sometime in November. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to schedule a live stream, but we'll see. I have a wedding this weekend too. I'm tired, y'all. I gotta make more videos about this thing. Like I gotta go ahead and get some in there. But yeah, so far it's good. I'm pretty happy with it overall. So 2 hours and the battery's dead. My husband just got the same laptop and I've been debating to get this new one or just update my iPad to the newest. Well, again, this is 2 hours of heavy editing. Not just doing random. Like I was working the thing. Your approach seems to work. Don't know why people would hang around if they don't like how you run your shoots. Also, the stretching video, so real for working pros. Hope everything goes well with you and your family. Bless you. Thanks. And thank you for that discussion. I don't want you to think that I was like mad or hating on you. Again, to each their own. Everyone has their own approach and I'm down for that. Like I said, again, my main gripe is just newer photographers, I feel, fall apart when they get stressed. That's all the questions. How do you deal with the stress and how do you deal with the wedding days? Having a little control helps that. So again, just different opinions. Thank you for the discussion. I always love having discussions on things like that. I need to set my shutter speed to like auto or something. He ran the CPU at max for a while. Yeah, I mean the fans had to kick up and everything. Like it was working. Now, if I was just doing general browsing and maybe some photo editing and no exporting, I would have definitely gotten more than 2 hours out of it. I'm going to get the iMac instead of the M1 Max Pro. Get your point, you feel curious. Yeah, no, I love a good discussion, so. No hate, only love here. I just joined and see now that you cold edited and did other stuff. Yeah, actually, yeah, I culled everything. I built smart previews. I edited 86 photos, exported it to 86 photos, and also edited and exported through exposure. So Lightroom and exposure. Actually, that was a pretty good workflow. I ran that thing in. I need to cut that out. That was actually pretty good. To be honest with you, yes, I almost freaked out because of those 20 minutes in which I didn't have control. So thank you for that rant. Yeah, and that I think that's what happens. Again, the only reason I talk about it so much is because that was me. That was me when I started. My first 2 years, I was just kind of like, okay, let's take some photos. You know, like, and I got through it, but I had no control at all. The exposure presets are fire. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole process is the exposure. Here, let me go grab the charger to this and see if I have somewhere I can plug it in. Oh, you know what? I actually, where is it? Did it fall through? I have a USB-C cable here somewhere. Can I plug in through any USB-C? They all will charge it? Yep, there's the sound. Let's plug it back in. Oh, I'm an idiot. I unplugged the hard drive, so Lightroom's like, oh no! Where did my screen go? There it is. Okay, we're on power now. Back on power. Lightroom has given up on us because I let it down. Yeah, 12%. Narrative select is still open. What? There were photos I didn't edit? Let's jump back into Lightroom, see if I can find a couple more photos. Are there any issues with Lightroom running on the new M1 processor? No, they've made it native now. So far, I haven't seen any problems. I mean, I have the M1 Mac Mini, and I've used it on there, and it seemed fine. Now, I haven't been editing all my sessions on this, so I can't tell you like, oh, I've used it for months. But from what I've done so far, it seems fine. Whenever I do these shots, that's what I'm looking for. That like that leg separation, the movement in the legs. Is that really 100%? That's not 100%. That's smart preview, right? Yeah, that's more 100%. Well, I'm about to 16:9 this. The power of the GFX 100. It was a bright sunny day. The clouds had just come out when we finally went outside, which I'm not a fan of. I think they've optimized to do it, but it seems to run pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've made a M1 native version fairly recently. Right now, the only thing that I'm seeing is that it's pretty slow changing through photos, but I'm thinking that's because it's coming off of an external hard drive. There are Brenizer shots. Are you using Lightroom 11 with the new adjustments? 11? Is that what they're on now? Yep. I guess so. You know, I haven't even tried those out yet. Yeah, I think that's good. 5-star. Let's see what's not edited. Do you have a photo or set of photos that clients come to you and say, this is why I hired you? This is what I want for you. I don't know if it's a specific set of photos, but they're definitely, most of the time, when couples are chatting with me, that's kind of how they approach my photos. A lot of it's like, we love, like, they usually say like they love the candidness of the photos and that stuff is not overly posy. Also too, in my meetings, I usually talk to them about like how I don't like to say stage, but how I kind of direct the photos so that they know that they're getting great photos. But they're also not gonna have like a stuffy photographer who's like posing them heavily and telling them what to do all the time. And usually couples are really cool with that. They really like it. I have another photo from that set, so what I'm gonna do is go back. I'll just sync it over. Did I really have two of these? Okay, I'm gonna export again. This time we're on power. It's just USB-C and I can't remember how much. 26 minutes until fully charged, dang. Okay, I guess it's pushing out enough power. I'm only gonna export the files that haven't been exported yet. So we're gonna select all, we're gonna export. Same thing as before. Full resolution, 300 ppi. Standard screen sharpening, JPEG mini, and open it in exposure. Export. We're going to skip the files that it says it already knows, so there's only 5 new photos. This should go a lot faster. Still waiting on the video on tips on being a better second shooter. Oh yeah, I definitely need to make one of those because I had a second photographer a little bit ago and it was a sad moment. So that was fast. That was like a 3-minute export. So yeah, my sharpening and grain preset for natural fills, which I also sell as well if you ever want to use exposure, it just adds like a kick of contrast and some grain and sharpening. And it's usually a little hard to see. You can definitely see the grain in here. Uh-oh, is it loading? Yeah, this program is definitely not optimized. Yeah, come on, bro. Uh-oh. Yeah, exposure seems like it's not. I'm trying to do before and after. Am I doing it wrong? Exposure is struggling. What Lightroom? This is exposure. I usually use it for my exports, so I'm exporting right now. I don't know why it's struggling so hard. This program is having a hard time. It must not be M1 ready because it's having a hard time. Is 3200 worth going on XT4? It really depends on how you feel about the photos. I usually cap at 2000. I don't like to go too far over that, but give it a try, see how it looks. What do you think about Fuji 3514? Are we talking about the old one or the new one? The old one I didn't like, but that was only because I don't like that whole like where you zoom and the thing comes out of the camera. But it was a good lens. How many photos do you take at a full wedding day? It generally is around, yeah, I don't know, this thing is struggling. This is not M1 ready. I usually take around like 4,000 photos or so. Between two cameras, so each camera does about 2,000. What you think about the Z9? You pre-order? Oh, you're talking to Ben. I didn't even see what is the Z9. I know it's Nikon something, but oops, I'm over here typing on the laptop like it's Bro, what is the problem? It worked last time. There it goes. Nikon Z9. Hurry, price subject to change. Nikon finally reveals its $5,000 flagship. Full frame mirrorless. Wow. Wow. Yeah, exposure is struggling on the M1, so I'm assuming it's not optimized. 45 megapixel CMOS sensor. 8K 30, 4K 120. Ooh. Up to 20 frames a second for raw photos. Wow, y'all. That's crazy. Are there more specs anywhere? Oh yeah, specs. Let's look at this while it's exporting. Nikon Z full frame CMOS. No crop factor cause it's full frame. JPEG and RAW, 14-bit depth. It has an electronic shutter as well. Goes up to 32,000. Does it have IBIS? ProRes 422 HQ. It records in ProRes. It's all electronic shutter. That's why. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I don't really like electronic shutters. That's kind of weird. Can't say I like the Nikon because I'm food. Wait, hold on. External. I don't understand. What is an external recording mode? Oh, so you can only do 8K and 4K 120 if you're using like an Atomos Ninja. Did you get the 33 f 1.4? Yes, I did pre-order it. All that stuff is backed up. I think it's the first one coming, right? I'm supposed to get it at some point. I ordered it from... I think I ordered it from Moment. And last I saw on their website, it was saying that it was going to ship sometime in November. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to see what my pre-order looks like. Orders. Ani, what lens is this? Ordered on the 24th. Order details. Your order is confirmed. Shipping method FedEx 2 business days. Signature required. Fuji 33F 1.4. And they don't have any information about when it's gonna ship. So yeah, I'll get one whenever they come out. Yeah. Exposure is not optimized for the M1, it looks like, because this thing should be flying. This is taking forever. Oh wow, it doesn't use SD cards? I hate those XQDs. Like, nobody uses that. Oh, it did export this. Why is this thing hating? Hey John, I just got started and have done about 6 shoots. At what point should I become an LLC? Sooner or later? It really depends. It depends on how comfortable you feel. Honestly, again, I don't have all the information. I'm not like a lawyer or anything like that. But if you want to have deeper protection on your business and yourself, you probably want an LLC. But you don't necessarily have to. You can work as a sole proprietor and that's fine. Like, it won't change your taxes that much or anything. I mean, yeah, it looks like a cool camera. There's nothing about it that seems like it's life-changing. I mean, that 20 frames a second is pretty legit. Oh, and it has a tilt screen, which is good. The video stuff looks like it's few and far between, though. Pretty cool. It's cool to see everyone like moving mirrorless after so long of Fujifilm and Sony being like the only ones doing it. But yeah, I'm thinking that's it for the stream for now. I finished up my engagement session and kind of went through everything. That was actually good for y'all to see that I burned through the battery, a full battery, in about 2 hours and some change, doing pretty heavy work. So that's like a real life look at what kind of battery life you're going to get while you're doing heavy lifting. Also, heavy lifting with programs that aren't fully optimized. Now, if it's like Final Cut or something, I don't know how that's going to go. The battery might actually do a lot better, but I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, thanks for hanging out on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Hopefully I have a lot of cool stuff coming up in November. And again, like I said, don't forget to keep in touch with the channel, because I am going to try and do a giveaway for my 100,000 subs that I've now passed by 10K. But I am going to have a giveaway sometime probably next month. So just keep an eye on that. And I will check you all out next time. All right. Peace.